Hey, it's Jordan with Status Coup. Breaking news. It is official. Elon Musk Twitter takeover complete. Here's the press release from Twitter. Twitter Inc. today announced that it has entered into a definitive agreement to be acquired by an entity wholly owned by Elon Musk for $54.20 per share in cash in a transaction valued at approximately $44 billion. Upon completion of the transaction, Twitter will become a privately held company. Under the terms of the agreement, Twitter stockholders will receive $54.20 in cash for each share of Twitter common stock that they own. Upon closing of the proposed transaction, the purchase price represents a 38% premium to Twitter's closing stock price on April 1st, which was the last trading day before Mr. Musk disclosed his approximately 9% stake in Twitter. So Elon Musk will basically own Twitter and be the largest shareholder by a lot, and have full run of the place. We could go in a lot of different directions. There is the whole aspect of billionaires continuing to buy up our traditional media and now social media, which I don't think is a good thing. I give you the Bezos Washington Post. I give you AT&T, which owns CNN, Comcast owning MSNBC and NBC, and on we go. There are problems, big problems with Twitter, and obviously an aggressive step towards censorship, taking accounts down who might be vile but aren't breaking laws per se, which then has created a major slippery slope. You get rid of Trump off Twitter, but then all of a sudden, anti-capitalist voices are gone. Anti-war voices are suspended. People who have different takes on COVID, even though I don't agree with them, are removed. So Elon Musk claims to be a free speech absolutist, as I've reported previously. You can check out that video last week of all the politicians, all the pro-censorship politicians he's happily given money to. But on its face, let's say Elon Musk is truly a free speech absolutist, and we will start seeing folks that have been suspended and banned, like President Trump, brought back to Twitter. Even though I'm not a Trump supporter, and I think he's done some terrible things and he says some terrible things, and obviously him being brought back to Twitter will then bring us back to a media news cycle of covering Trump's tweets 24/7, which will probably help CNN and MSNBC's sinking ratings. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I think people who have been, very, very cheerleading for Elon Musk to take over Twitter because of his stated free speech absolutism might not consider the other end of this. Number one, to me, the biggest problem on Twitter and other platforms, yes, straight up censorship is a major problem, but there's also what I call shadow censorship. And that is the algorithmic suppression that basically Twitter, YouTube, owned by Google, Facebook definitely, basically have chosen winners and losers in terms of whose content can be seen and whose is basically censored and hidden, which has really hurt Status Coup on YouTube. Literally, our content is barely recommended ever. And even our subscribers have trouble knowing when we're live or seeing our videos that we post, the shorter videos. I'm not convinced that a Elon Musk run Twitter, the algorithm will dramatically change to make it a fair ball game where your content sinks or swims based on its worth, based on people's interest. I'm not convinced that the Twitter algorithm under Elon Musk will not bury in the algorithm things like the Amazon labor surge right now with the first historic Amazon Amazon warehouse being unionized, which we've been covering for a year. Go on with Starbucks, go on with other strikes that are going on, union campaigns going on. I'm not convinced that if there's ever a real protest movement or campaign against big tech's tax breaks, big tech subsidies, big tech helping the surveillance state. You think that's going to rise on the Elon Musk owned Twitter? I hate to be a party pooper or a Debbie Downer here. Sure, you will see less straight up censorship in terms of people who we disagree with having free reign to put out a lot of vile stuff, a lot of misinformation. And that's America. That's the world. That's the world we live in with free speech. Anything short, to me, of specifically inciting violence, and there are laws that get into those specifics. I think we have to accept free speech in terms of vile speech, misinformation, this and that, because we have seen with Twitter, and YouTube that when they ban stuff we don't like, then it's coming for us. The anti-capitalist voices, anti-war, labor reporters, even COVID. Even if you're putting out the right information and truthful information, algorithms now are banning people who were putting out the right information. So to me, buyer beware, because Elon Musk has a notorious record of union busting, retaliation at Tesla, racial discrimination, which he had to settle for a lot of money. And you might get censorship, the lever pulled off on censorship, but the shadow censorship continue or double down and triple down on that. Because for example, I don't see this union campaign train stopping. I think it's only going to get bigger. I think you're going to start seeing more Amazon warehouses successfully unionized. I think you're going to see more workers striking. That's not exactly in Elon Musk and his elite circles' best interest. So will those things organically rise on an Elon Musk Twitter? You might not think that's as important as people just straight out being banned. And they're different categories, but how are more people supposed to get active in this movement if people aren't seeing what's really going on? If people aren't seeing major labor wins, if people aren't understanding the significance of it because it's not as prominent in their Twitter feed. So these are all super important things to consider, but one thing cannot be debated. Things are going to change. Things are definitely going to change, and probably quickly, under an Elon Musk owned Twitter. Obviously, I think that means folks like Trump coming back and their ban being done with. Probably some bigger names in terms of politics, punditry, pop culture that might have been removed. Them coming back, even their removal linked to the election stuff or COVID stuff. So I also think you might have some new features on Twitter under Elon Musk. Say what you want, but he definitely is innovative. A lot of those innovations have sunk to the bottom of the ocean, but he's definitely creative and a little unorthodox. So we might see an edit button on Twitter, which people have very polarizing views on. I, for one, think it would be a good thing. So we shall see. But breaking news: Elon Musk now owns Twitter. So another billionaire owning the sources of information. What could go wrong in the United Corporations of America when the world's wealthiest man now owns for journalists, the global marketplace or the global square, as they call it? We'll follow it. See what develops. Thanks for watching, and make sure to tune in to Status Coup's daily live stream Monday through Thursday at 5 o'clock Eastern Time and Fridays at 4 o'clock Eastern Time.